It's a good thing. So today, we're going to be working on self-care. Now, we all think we're really, really good at this a lot of the time, whereas in reality, we aren't. And in order to be able to show caring and love and compassion and kindness to others, or expect others to work well, or expect an awful lot of good out of other people, we actually have to look inwards first. If we are not giving it to ourselves, then there is no way that we are effectively going to be giving it to anybody else. So self-care is crucial, especially at the moment. And so the class that we're going to do today, first we're going to cleanse, then we're going to use some yin poses to stimulate the meridians of the heart and of the lungs. And then we're going to finish with another Shavasana to recharge. And you'll notice that the password today was Ahimsa. Now, before we lie down and we begin our first Shavasana, I just want to explain to you what Ahimsa is. This is from my Ashtanga yoga book it's 10 years old. It's from India. And in yoga, in a particular kind of yoga called Ashtanga yoga, it's 3,000 years old now. I teach Hatha, but this is another type, Ashtanga. There are 8 limbs, so there are 8 types of yoga. The asanas, the poses are one type. The pranayama is another type. So there's 8 specific types of yoga. And there are things called the yamas and the niyamas. The yamas are social discipline, how we are meant to behave amongst other people. And the niyamas are your self-discipline, how you are meant to treat yourself. Now, the yamas and the niyamas come before anything else. They come before the meditation, they come before the pranayama, the breathing, they come before the asanas. If you are not living your life to the yamas and the niyamas, then you're not practicing yoga. So the fact that the West jumps straight into the asanas or straight into pranayama actually is not the right way to go about it. So Ahimsa. Ahimsa. And just think about how you can bring this into your life. Ahimsa means non-violence. It is a mode of behavior in which we treat all living creatures, obviously starting with ourselves. And it is the absence of any harmful intention whatsoever. So it's intention and thought. It's not just the way you behave. And it is followed on 3 levels. The mental, obviously, the oral, what you say, and of course the physical, on the way in which you behave. So to practice Ahimsa, you actually have to make a concerted and intend to control your actions, your mind, and your words. Not an easy one, is it? And when you begin to do that, you then are able to begin to generate love, compassion towards all living creatures, beginning with yourself. So lie down if you haven't already done so. And I want to begin with this cleansing meditation. So this is taken from Reiki for Life, the book that is becoming my Bible at the moment. And this meditation is simply to cleanse. I'm hoping this is going to begin, but this is going to work, should I say. But before I read this, just close your eyes down. I'm hoping my nice little Tibetan mole is going to work okay here. I want you just to begin by spending a minute or so. We're just going to tense and relax parts of the body. So take your awareness down to your toes. And I just want you to turn your toes in and squeeze them as tightly as you can. Just hold them for a few seconds and then let them go. And point the feet, and really point the feet as hard as you can, so you're starting to really use the muscles. And then draw the toes towards you, so you're pushing the heels away again, tensing, and you can tense into the calf muscles as well as you're doing this. And then relax. And I want you just to tense the muscles into your thighs and into your knees. So maybe you can feel as if you're lifting into the knees. So really feel the muscles of the legs there tensing. And then again, let that go. Then into your buttocks. You're going to tense the muscles of the buttocks just for a few seconds and then let them go. Into the navel, into the core. So just draw the navel in towards the spine, press the lower back into the floor, hold those muscles for a few seconds and let go. Then I want you just to constrict into the chest. So feel as if you're trying to push the chest and the upper back into the floor and round the shoulders forward. So you feel as if you're really pushing yourself, trying to dig yourself into the floor. And then again, let that go. And then I want you to hunch the shoulders up towards the ears. And as you do so, make fists with the hands and really start to use the muscles in the biceps as well. So you're really starting to use all of the muscles in the hands and the arms, and then let the shoulders go. And then I just want you to draw the chin in towards the chest so you can feel yourself tensing into the muscles down the back of the neck and into the front of the throat. And then let the head go. And then finally into the muscles of the face. I want you to screw your face up as much as you possibly can. Make your eyes really tight. Grit your teeth. Make an angry face if you wish. And then let that go. And I just want you now to close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing. We're going to do a slightly different type of breathing than we normally do. We're going to do this 3 times. So we're going to breathe in to 3, out 4, 5, 6, back in 7, 8, 9, and then an exhalation through the mouth on 10. So it's a nice long one. So just ready to breathing in. So breathe in on 1, 2, 3. Exhale on 4, 5, 6. Breathe in on 7, 8, 9. And an audible sigh on 10. Do that again. Breathing in on 1, 2, 3. Breathe out on 4, 5, 6. Breathing in on 7, 8, 9. And an audible sigh on 10. Last time, breathe in on 1, 2, 3. Exhale on 4, 5, 6. Breathe in on 7, 8, 9. And an audible sigh for 10. Just allow your breathing to be completely natural now. I want you to imagine that you are standing on a path, the edge of a beautiful wood. I want you now to connect with all of your senses to bring this scene alive. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Feel a gentle breeze ruffling your hair. You can hear the leaves on nearby trees rustling in the breeze, and the songs of birds too. You look around you. You can see a beautiful blue sky, and the green of the grass, and the bright colours of flowers and butterflies. You can smell the sweet grass, and the breeze smells of pine and other woodland fragrances from the trees ahead. You can even imagine putting out your hand to touch a nearby leaf or the bark of a tree. Now you begin to walk along the path into the wood, where the sun is streaming down through the trees. And as you walk, you hear the sound of running water The path seems to be leading you closer and closer to that sound. Suddenly you come out of the trees and into a sunlit glade. And at the far side of the glade is a beautiful waterfall where the colour runs into a deep blue pool that is surrounded by colourful flowers and long grasses. You walk towards the waterfall and feel the need to wash yourself clean in this sparkling water. There's no one around. It is completely secluded, a private area. And quickly you remove your clothing and step into the cool, sparkling water, letting it wash over your head, your face, your neck. It runs over your shoulders and arms and hands, over the front and the back of your body and your legs. You feel it cleansing you and refreshing you. When you feel really clean, you notice that the ribbons of water in the waterfall turn into ribbons of rainbow colour, and your body is washed with red, orange and yellow light, and then with green and blue and indigo and a violet light. And as the rainbow colours fade away, you walk out of the waterfall and take a dip into the beautiful blue pool. The water of the pool feels warm and relaxing, and it makes you feel youthful, playful. So you splash around for a few moments, swimming on your back, spinning in the water, enjoying the feel of the softness of the water. Then as you climb out of the pool, you find a pile of fresh, clean clothes waiting for you when you put them on. And then you turn towards the waterfall and the pool again, and you acknowledge with thanks that you have been cleansed and purified. And with a little bow of gratitude, you turn and walk back along the path towards the entrance to the wood where you first started. When you reach the edge of the wood, you spend a few moments just experiencing again the warmth of the sun, the scent of the pine and the fresh grass, and the sight of the blue sky. And you simply lay or sit for a few moments longer and watch this beautiful scene. Now allow the images to begin to fade, and be aware again, letting your awareness return. Maybe you can sense again the chair or the bed. Obviously we're lying here. And any sounds that you may hear in the room. Just allow your awareness now to fully return. But just for a moment, I want you to keep your eyes closed. Why is it important for us to cleanse? Because when we are out and about, we are bringing ourselves into many different energies outside and about. And there is sadly a lot of negative energies. But to be able to cleanse outside is impractical. We can't do that. But we can regularly clean ourselves, our aura. We can certainly clean our house. We can, even if we wish, choose to leave our shoes at the front door when we come into the house, because a lot of the heaviness of the negative energy settles into the floor, and you can bring that in on your shoes from outside. So make a promise to yourself now, before we begin to move, that you will make a concerted effort every day to bring cleanliness into your life. I'm certainly not suggesting that you clean out your house every day. That would be ridiculous. But just when you go to bed, maybe imagining and visualizing that waterfall. Just allowing yourself mentally, emotionally, energetically to be cleansed. So take a deep breath in and exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. I want you to begin to draw your knees in towards your chest. So have a little rock from side to side. And then when you are ready, you're going to bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. So we are going to do a warm-up, a seated warm-up. But because not everybody's good, obviously, with crossing their legs, you can do this with the soles of the feet on the floor. As long as you are sitting upright, that is the most important thing. So find that comfortable position. And all I want you to do is bring your hands onto your knees, take a deep breath in, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and breathing in, coming into a seated cat-cow. Exhale, chin into the chest and stretch over the back. So just do that 2 more times. Breathing in. Exhale, chin into the chest and stretching over the back. And last time, breathing in. And exhale again, chin into the chest and stretching over the spine, and ease yourself back into a neutral position. Now I want you to bring your right arm forwards. We're just going to come into eagle arms and bring your left arm underneath that. Now you've got an option. You can just put your hands on your shoulders from here. But if you can, the right elbow is going to drop into the crook of the left elbow. You're going to bend both arms, and if you can, hold on to the hands, or backs of the hands can come together. From here, just lift the elbows up just to give that back a really nice stretch there. And slowly release that down. And then we're going to swap onto the other side. So we're going to bring the left arm forwards, bring the right arm underneath. And again, you can just bring the hands to the shoulders, but if you can, left elbow into the crook of that right arm, and then you're going to bend the elbows, backs of the hands together, or maybe you can even hold on to the hands. Again, bring the elbows up so they're in line with the shoulders. Remember, you can still do this if the hands are on the shoulders. And again, just a nice stretch coming there into the shoulders. Slowly release the arms. We're going to bring the fingertips behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together, just coming into the heart there. But keep that chin tucked into the chest to stretch into the neck. Slowly ease yourself forwards. Left fingertips are going to come to the floor. You're just going to draw the right arm up and over the head into a gentle stretch there down the right side. Back to the center. This time we're going to twist. Left hand over towards the right knee. Right hand behind you. Breathe in to lift and exhale to twist. Come back to the center, the other side. Right fingertips down to the floor. Lifting the left arm up and over the head, just coming into a gentle stretch there down the left hand side. Slowly back to the center. Right hand to the left knee if it'll reach. Left hand behind. Breathe in to lift and exhaling again to twist. Then ease yourself back to the center, let the legs go and give the legs a little bit of a shake. So these poses we're going to be doing poses all for the heart meridian on the whole. So what we are going to do to begin is we're going to come onto the front of our belly, and we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So you're going to bring yourself down onto the front of the body. Now, Sphinx pose, you bring the elbows directly underneath the shoulders, and we're going to bring the hands into a prayer position. If this gets too much for you, bring the body down and rest the forehead onto the hands, so you can instead come into a crocodile, which is this, but just find what feels right for you. You can let the head relax. The shoulder blades will kind of squeeze towards each other, but you do need to adjust those elbows so they're underneath. If they're too far out, you're not going to be able to keep yourself up. So find what feels comfortable for you. You're going to be here for a few minutes, but just allow yourself to find that point that feels okay in the body. Relax. And you can even, if you wish, rest the head into the hands if that feels better, by bringing the hands around the side of the face. So close your eyes down once you have your pose. Any point that you feel that you need to let the pose go, please let the body go back down to the floor. So I wanted to share with you today the Reiki principles. And the Reiki principles are ways in which we can live our life, and they fit very well in with our Ahimsa and this non-violence towards yourself and towards others. They're very much about living in the present. And each begins with the phrase, just for today. Because living in the moment and being aware of what is going on around you forces you to live in the present, in the now, which is the only time over which any of us really ever have any control. Living in the present gives us the opportunity to appreciate and wonder, because when we truly experience whatever is going on in this given moment, we are able then to appreciate it greater. And it is very much from Buddhism, it is known as being mindful. And if you are just having your mind here and right now, and not allowing your thoughts to wander, they're not going to race off into the future, and they're not going to delve into the past. Now, take a deep breath in. And exhale, just very slowly begin to ease yourself down to the floor. And I just want you from here just to let your hips shuffle a little bit from side to side. So obviously we've just been in a backward bend. So we're going to take ourselves now into a pose that's going to bring ourselves out of that backward bend, just to allow ourselves to soften into the back. So begin to slide the left hand down so it's just to the left hand side of the chest. And you may prefer to put the right side of the face on the floor in a moment, but push the left hand into the mat, lift that chest from the floor, slide that left knee up, and then settle the body back down so you can just draw the navel into the spine a little bit, just to ease into that back. We're going to be on here for about a minute on each side. So, the first of the Reiki principles, and one which I am working on alongside being patient, is just for today. Do not anger. Anger is such a destructive emotion, and when we use it against those people we care about the most, it hurts as much, hurting them as much as it hurts us. We are hurting ourselves in just the same way as we are hurting them. And usually, very often, anger is actually generated when people fail to reach our expectations of what we're expecting them to be, or what we're expecting ourselves to do or be. It is failing to reach expectations. But all anger ever does is hurt. It hurts ourselves, it hurts others, and it rarely achieves anything other than making somebody feel bad. But take a deep breath in and exhale. Slowly slide that hand back. So you're making cushions with the hands. Roll back onto the front of the body, and just a little bit of a rock from side to side again with those hips. And we're going to come on to the other side. So this time slide the right hand so it's by the right side of the chest. Push your body off the floor. Slide that right knee up. Drop the right elbow down towards the right knee, and then again find on the floor where it feels right for you there. Drawing the navel into the spine with each exhalation, so you can just stretch out again into the back. Now the thing with anger is that it is a conscious choice. It's a conscious action that we make, whether we want to believe it or not. And if it's a habitual response that has been created over years, and sadly, if we witnessed a lot of anger from even when we were in the womb, if our parents, if our mother experienced anger or was angry herself in that last trimester, it will have already been pre-programmed into us to naturally be drawn towards anger. And if we experienced a lot of anger in those first 6 years, it will be a habitual response within us. But you can break that cycle, and you can choose a different response instead. You can choose not to be angry. But just for today, do not anger. Take one day at a time. Now take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale, straighten those legs back up, come back up onto the front of the body. And I just want you now to bring the hands either side of the chest, or even put the elbows down and walk the elbows towards the knees. Find what feels right for you there. Or lift up. I'm going to give you an option here. You might just want to come straight down into a child, slowly easing the hips down towards the heels, maybe make pillows with the hands again. You're not good with a child's pose. Hands can go either side of the feet. I'm not good with a child, so I'm going to come up onto my hands and knees, tuck the chin into the chest, and stretch up and over the spine. Draw the navel in towards the spine, so you're giving yourself a good few cat stretches. Breathe into a neutral spine. Don't drop the back. Exhale, chin into the chest, stretch up and over the spine. Last time, breathing in and exhale again. Just coming into that cat stretch. Now, I'm going to give us an option here. We're going to come into a child's twist. I want you to bring your hips down towards your heels. I don't often do this, but you can do a seated twist instead if you're not good on your knees. You're going to walk your knees towards the side of the mat, and the toes are touching. The big toes are touching. You're going to bring the knees as wide as the mat, and you're going to drop your hips down. Now, if you are not good being back on the knees like this, please come into a seated position and do the normal, just gentle twist, seated twist that we would do. From here, you're going to walk your hands forwards, and we're going to come into a twisting child. Slide the right arm underneath the left, and if you can, drop the shoulder down and let that head rest on the floor. This left hand can rest on the back, it can rest on the floor. Feel where it feels best for you. I prefer the back of the left hand on the back. So find what feels right for you. If immediately you've come into this and you've thought, she is having a laugh, that is far too much on my knees, and please, seated version. Because we're going to the left, bring the right knee in. Sorry, because we're going to the left, bring the left knee in. Breathe in to lift, exhale to twist. So you're just going to come into that gentle twist there instead. So if it is too much for you coming into child's twist, into the child's twist, please bring yourself into a seated version. If the shoulder doesn't come all the way down, you can, of course, just allow yourself to be on the elbow. You don't have to try and get the body all the way down. So the next of the principles is do not worry. Now that is a really difficult one. Just for today, do not worry. Just allow yourself to relax into this pose, taking a breath in and exhale. You're going to be 2 minutes on either side here. And worry is linked with our fear of the future and the unknown, and it is our usual response to a what if scenario, to something that might occur, but 9 times out of 10 doesn't occur. Worrying is another habit that we get into, and again, if we've experienced it as children in the womb, it's going to be already in our subconscious. It's going to be in our pre-programming. But worrying never achieves anything. It is, as the Buddhists say, it is that second arrow. The first arrow, you've been shot with the first arrow. The second arrow is worrying about the fact that you were just shot with the first arrow. What good is that going to do? Whatever problem or situation that you're worried about, even if there is a serious health problem, then if there is an action that you can take to improve the matter, then take it. But there is nothing that you can do about it. Then there is really no other option that you've got other than to let go and let flow. Worrying about something does not help it. It just increases the pain that you are already experiencing. Take a deep breath in and exhale, release that left hand. Slowly ease yourself to the center. Your knees are going to feel this because you'll have been at this with the knees for 4 minutes. Again, reach the arms out so you feel as if you come down as low as feels comfortable for you. If you're seated position, you're going to swap to the other side. Begin to slide that left arm under again, left shoulder coming down to the full left side of the head, just reach, resting. Bring this right arm wherever it feels right for you. Your body will tell you what you want to do with it. Remember, you can stay on that elbow and just gently let the arm rest behind, or keep the hand on the floor. Find there what feels right for you. There is a phrase that we have probably all heard before. What you resist persists. And if we continue to struggle and strive to control a situation, we are just creating an energy cycle that is going to keep bringing the same thing back to us. Quantum physics now recognizes this, that the way we think is going to draw more of that energy towards us. Whereas if we let go and stop worrying about the situation, quite often something good will come along to sort that thing out. That good thing could be a person, it could be advice, a new form of treatment, money. But it's amazing how often the right thing will just turn up. So you can choose not to worry. You can choose not to shoot that arrow, that second arrow. And if it's somebody else trying to place their worries on you, then again, it's the same principle. That is something they have to worry about. So difficult not to worry about your children or people that you love or family or parents. I understand. I have the same thing. But just for today, do not worry. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly ease that arm. And again, if you're in the seated position, you're just going to bring yourself back to the center. So if we were on our knees, you're going to come up onto your hands and onto your knees. If you're in a seated position, just bring the hands behind you. And I just want you to stretch into the front of the chest. So if you're on your hands and knees, you're just going to make a few circles with the knees. Do both sides at the same time. And then when we're ready, we're going to come into a seated position. Of course, some of you might already be in the seated position. That's fine. So I want you to begin to come into a seated position where you're going to straighten out the legs. We're going to come now into a side dragonfly. Now, for those of us who are not comfortable having the legs straight like this can be done with the soles of the feet on the floor. So it's a lateral stretch version that we're going to be doing here. Now, if you've got any issues with getting the elbow all the way down to the knee, even if you can't put a block on the floor, if you can't get your elbow to rest on your knee, bend the knee and then rest the elbow on the knee. Much easier. You can always straighten out the other leg so you don't feel as if you're being too gentle here. So what we're going to do is going to bring the left elbow down onto the left knee, bent if needs be. You can even rest your head in the hand. I'm going to draw the right arm over that and just let that right arm just rest over the head. Now we're going to just bring this right shoulder back. You can even put the hand on the top of the head or a hand on the back of the head if that feels better for you. If you are not good reaching this arm up and over, let it drop behind, but keep this shoulder drawing back. Remember, both knees can be bent if you wish. And then close the eyes down. Full version, you're going to be all the way down here. Maybe you even want to hold on to that big toe. Then you can draw the arm up and over the head. All boils down to where is right for your body. Any point that you feel as if that gets too much, turn and face the leg instead. So find the pose that is right here for you. You will feel this down the right hand side of the body, working into the meridians, into the heart and the lungs. So we have just for today, do not anger, just for today, do not worry. And then my favorite, just for today, I will be grateful. And this is so important, to count your blessings on a daily basis, to even take time out of the day, every day, just to stand and stare at the beauty of the flower, or the happiness of a child at play, or even the birds in the sky. Developing an awareness of life and what it means to live it. And of course, there's always going to be ups and downs in our life. But if you can, at the end of every single day, think of 3 things that you're grateful for. This has an incredible effect mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I'm going to explain the physical in a moment. So just take a deep breath in this pose. And exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. Just want you to take your mind for a moment to something that you are really grateful for. It can be anything. It can be a person, a situation, the sun being in the sky today, your garden. It can be absolutely anything. Just want you to see how that brings a smile to your face. Gently take a deep breath in. Exhale, ease back to the center. We need to come onto the other side. So straighten that right leg out if that's what you were doing. And then you're going to bend the other knee if that was the version that you were doing. Both knees can be bent, remember. Again, elbow to that knee. If you're very flexible, elbow to the knee with a straight leg. But find what feels right. Again, left arm this time is going to drop over the head, or any issues with shoulder, drop it behind the head. You can rest the head in the hands if you want, very flexible. You may be able to reach right over, find the position that is right for you. So again, gentle breaths. Another phrase here, attitude of gratitude. Why is this so important? I said that this affects us physically, and it does. You're going to get a little bit of science here now. Your cells, we all know the cells. We all know that in the cells are our DNA. Did you know that at the end of the strands of the DNA are a thing called the telomeres? And every time your cell divides and a new cell is made and the DNA is copied, because of these telomeres, these things at the end of the DNA, a little bit like the end of a train track. Every time your gene is copied and made again, because of these telomeres, the telomere can't be copied. So only the rest of the DNA is copied. So each time it's copied, it gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, which eventually leads to our aging, eventually leads to illness and depression. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently ease yourself back to the center. And I want you now just to straighten both legs if that feels okay. Bring the fingertips to the center. Both knees can bend if you need to. Deep breath in. And just slowly ease yourself into a very gentle forward bend. Just let the head for a moment relax. Just taking a moment. Let the shoulders relax from that quite strong pose. Take another deep breath in and exhale, very gently ease back to the center. Bring those hands back behind you, and I want you to bring the feet onto the floor as we just come into the windscreen washers. So what is going on? So just drop the knees from side to side. What's so important about these telomeres? Well, they've discovered with these telomeres that there's a thing called a telomerase, and it's a protein that lengthens your telomeres. And when your telomeres are lengthened, it allows the whole of the DNA to be copied. It gives life, longevity, and a fountain of youth to your cells in your DNA. You can straighten the legs back out. Give the legs a bit of a shake. And what is it that activates this protein to lengthen your telomeres? Gratitude, purpose, and self-love. So begin to bring the knees together. We're going to come into a full forward bend here. So knees are going to come together, and I just want you to come into a position that feels right for you. If you're very flexible, straighten the legs, because our next pose is coming into a full forward bend. So take a deep breath in and exhale. Just gently let the body sink over that. And if you want, hold the hands onto the shins. Just let the head relax. Let the shoulders relax. Again, if you're very flexible, straightening into the legs. Because this is a yin version, let the shoulders round. Let the whole of the body just sink into that. I like to bend the knees, then I feel like I've got that connection with my belly and the thighs. And then again, close the eyes. Gentle breaths into your full forward bend. So that fountain of youth, that longevity, actually is in you. It's already in you. An attitude of gratitude. Just for today, I will be grateful. Actually has the ability to lengthen your own life. Studies, scientific studies have proven that this is what happens. Now we move into the next. You've had just for today, do not anger, just for today, do not worry, just for today, I will be grateful. The next one, just for today, I will live honestly. I will be truthful in whatever it is that I choose to be, to do. I'm a human being, not a human doing. Whatever I identify with, whatever job I wish to do, whatever service I wish to use, be it a paid job, be it something that I'm just doing at home, raising my children, caring for people, even on furlough. All work anything that we do on a daily basis, we do with value to it. We place intention into it. We live honestly with what we are doing and what we are choosing to do. We are all valuable and special. Every single person on this planet has a purpose in their life. And going back to the telomeres on the DNA, one of the things that they discovered is that when you lack purpose in your life, telomeres stop growing. So live today, just for today. I will live honestly, with self-love, gratitude, but with purpose. Such a huge thing for personal and spiritual growth, to have a purpose. And take a deep breath in. And exhale very gently. Begin to ease yourself back up to a neutral position. Just bring the fingertips behind you and wait to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So you're going to give you an option here. Feet are going to come onto the floor, but if you wish, you're going to bring your legs into a cross-legged position, because we're going to come into a seated fish. So bring the fingers, the palms flat to the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Chin, if you've got any issues in the back of your neck, keep the chin in, but if you can, you're just going to drop that head back. A few really deep breaths after your forward bend. Gently ease the chin back, and we're going to start to straighten those legs back out, and very carefully bring yourself back down onto the floor. So we're going to come now into probably one of my favorite versions of a spinal twist. So bring the soles of the feet so they're on the floor. So together, if you're okay, knees together if you're okay with that. And you're going to push the hands into the mat, lift your bum up, sorry, and slide your bum slightly towards the right. From here, let both knees drop down toward the left. Now, you might find the knees won't come all the way down. If they won't, widen the knees to make that feel a little bit more comfortable. If you need to support the knee, you can always put something underneath that knee. It does make it much more easier. So do just find what feels right here. The feet don't need to be together. The knees don't need to be together. Find what feels right here. So the shoulders are rooted on the floor. And what we're going to do now with this right arm is either extend it out to the side, depending on what your body feels like, or you're going to bring this right arm and you're going to cradle the top of the head with it. So you've literally just brought it around the head like a cradle. And then turn your head to that right. Now this is where it always makes me giggle, and I've said this on many occasions, those of you who know me well. When I used to teach my friend Jenny, who has sadly passed away now, when I used to teach Jenny this pose, she used to call it the come and get me pose. So that'll probably give you an idea of what it kind of looks like. She was very amusing. The left hand can rest on the belly, and the right shoulder root into the floor. Remember, feet can slide away from each other. A deeper pose, bring the knees closer to the body. A not so deep pose, the knees come further away from the body, so it's easier to have the knees bent. And then again, once you're in your pose, close your eyes down. So as we come to the last of the Reiki principles that fit so well in with the yamas, with the social discipline, but especially with our ahimsa, non-violence, is another of my favorites. Just for today. Be kind to others. And this doesn't just mean being kind to the people that you love, being kind to the people who are in your close proximity, because that would be considerably easier, wouldn't it? If we only had to be kind to the people that we actually like, wouldn't the world be easier? But would it be better? No, not a chance. Be kind to others means that we have to honor, respect, and be kind to everyone. Even if we disagree with the opinions of other people, even if we don't like what they're saying or like what they're doing, we can have what is called a compassionate detachment. We don't have to engage with it. We don't have to worry about it, think about it. We can still hold a compassion and kindness for somebody, regardless of what it is that they think. Because whatever it is that they are doing or saying or acting, they are creating their own energy. And we all know what goes around comes around. It is not up to you to send any kind of karma to them. That will happen naturally with what they generate. What you need to focus on purely is the kindness that you give to others. Just for today, be kind. Now take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly let that right arm come back down. Use the hand to bring the knees back to the center. And just as the feet come together, knees to come together, if that's how you were able to keep them, recenter your bum, hands either side of the hips again. Lift your bum up, slide your bum over towards the left this time. This will allow your right knees more space to drop over towards the right hand side again. Support the knees if you need to. If that does feel a bit too much, don't have the knees so they're close towards each other. Find a position that feels better for you so you can be more supported there. Remember, the closer the knees are to the body, the deeper the twist, the further they are, the easier the twist will feel. Left arm's going to extend out, or again, cradle the head. Turn the head towards the left hand side. Hand can rest on the belly or the heart on the right side. And again, once you find your position, closing the eyes down. It's not the easiest thing in the world to follow all of these principles just for today. Do not anger. Just for today. Do not worry. Just for today, be grateful. Just for today, live honestly. Just for today, be kind. But even if you can only work on one every day, it will still have an impact on you, even down to your DNA, as I said earlier with the telomeres, these little ends of your DNA that stop the whole of the cell from regenerating, and very important with the stem cells. You have the ability to create a fountain of youth within you. You have the ability to generate a good energy to come to you. Ahimsa, non-violence. Non-physical, not oral, not mental, to prevent yourself from sending those unkind things out. Generating love, compassion. if you can only follow one each day, it's a start. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. Very gently release the arm and ease your way back to the center. Recenter the hips, and I just want you to slide the hands onto the knees and just do a few big circles with those knees before you bring yourself down into a comfortable position for Shavasana. So once you have your position, we're going to come into a meditation. We've worked on our cleansing. We've stimulated ourselves while at the same time thinking of all of the different ways using Reiki principles, which are principles for life, I would say. 100 or so years old, the Reiki principles, and yet the yamas, the social discipline, are over 3,000 years old. So much can be learned in the past. And bring yourself now into Shavasana. And just allow yourself to find relaxation in the entire body. Maybe you want to begin to deepen your breath. Allowing the body to become heavy, heavy into your mat. Allowing the earth to support you and hold you. It won't let you go. Give yourself the opportunity to surrender to this moment. I want you now to imagine that there are roots growing from your body, from your shoulders, from your hips, from the soles of your feet. And these roots are growing down and down and down into the earth. As they push through the soil, through the layers of rock, imagine them moving through deep pools, deep down in the earth. And maybe finding crystals and wrapping the roots around the crystal. Finding that strength, resilience, and power of the earth supporting you and holding you. I want you to visualize yourself standing in the center of 8 standing stones. These are no ordinary standing stones. They are all precious gems, and they are huge. They all have their own power, vibration, and life energy. And as you stand in the center of these stones, you can feel the different energies radiating out from each of them. You move to the first stone, ruby. In front of you stands a beautiful red gem, rich and full of healing for all mental health problems. It is also the heart stone, as it encourages selfless service and spiritual devotion. Connected to the first chakra, dispels fear. Therefore, embrace it. Visualize yourself now touching this precious gem. You move on. The second gemstone is Moonstone, a translucent feldspar with a white and pink sheen. Solid Mother Earth and a friend of all females, balancing yin and yang, connected to the second and sixth of the chakras. When you embrace Moonstone, you are embracing yourself. Visualize yourself now touching this precious gem. You move on. The next stone is Amber, the mindful one. So called because it remembers the past and is a resin of the ancient trees. Amber is good for the memory and the endocrine system, but it also helps the mind to find the soul. This gem is connected to the solar plexus, to the Manipura, your fire, your drive, your confidence, your self-esteem. Therefore, embrace it. Visualize yourself touching this precious gem. You move on. The fourth gemstone is Emerald, the unconditional love stone. The deep green pulsating with strength for the heart chakra. It is the friend of the seeker and holds the power to heal. Therefore, embrace it. Visualize yourself now touching this precious gem. You move on. Fifth gemstone is Lapis Lazuli, a beautiful blue fleckled stone, what is known as the night stone, powerful relaxant for the mind and body. It opens the throat and the brow center. Is said to be good for communication with the higher self. So therefore, embrace it. Visualize yourself now touching this precious gem. You move on. The sixth of the gemstones is Amethyst, the elevator, deep mauve. It strengthens the entire immune system and is a very powerful aid in meditation, bringing your lower natures to a higher consciousness, and is connected to the sixth and seventh chakra. Therefore, embrace it. Visualize yourself now touching this precious gem. You move on. The seventh gemstone is a clear quartz, one of the highest crystals, good for the soul, good for healing, a complete balancer and grounder. It is known as the meditator's friend, as it opens out your crown chakra. Therefore, embrace it. Visualize yourself now touching this precious gem. You move on. And you turn now to face Jasper, the talisman. Healers have used this stone for centuries, a gemstone of many colors. Powerful healer for the entire body, a perfect grounder. Jasper gives you what you need to support and balance any of your chakras. Therefore, embrace it and visualize yourself now touching this precious stone. Now imagine now you have received from these energies all that you need. You are fully relaxed, recharged, rebalanced, and at ease. Just your remaining moments of stillness on your yoga mat. Now very gently begin to wriggle again into your fingers and into your toes. And do whatever it is that your body is asking you to do. Maybe to stretch into the body. Maybe to hug the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Whatever it is that your body is asking you to do, follow those instructions and listen to the body. And then when you are ready, bringing yourself back up into a comfortable seated position. I just want you to bring your hands now into heart center and allow your head to just bow down. So this hand position that I always ask us to come into, this is known as Anjali in India. And when we say Namaste, we are recognizing that there are other lights. There's a light within us, the soul, and we are bowing down and recognizing the light in others. In Reiki, it's known as Gasho, but it is the same principle, that we are humble, that we are understanding that we are not the only soul that is on this planet. And if we can, just for today, do not anger. Just for today, do not worry. Just for today, be grateful. Just for today, live honestly. Just for today, be kind. It's not much, is it? Namaste, everybody. I'm sorry I ran over. It's the extra Shavasana. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Edwina. Have a nice day. Bye.
And you. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you.